Yeah. Welcome back, baby. Just Incredible's Liftoff Show. We about to take a deep dive with my brother. You know what I'm saying? Nick Grant is here.
Man, thank you for having me, bro. I appreciate it. Glad to be here every time. Like I said, this is home.
Welcome home, my man.
Oh, yeah.
Right in time for this brand new album, Sunday Dinner.
Absolutely. My most personal album yet.
Yeah.
Ready for it. Excited about it. It's just basically about, moving from with my parents because they had like issues and moving in with my grandma.
At an early age? Like at a young age?
At an early age. I think I was like 6, 7.
Wow.
Maybe a little older. Like I forget, but around that time.
Did she live close, like in the area?
Yeah, for sure. Less than 3 miles away.
Right.
Yeah. So when they had their issues and that she stepped up for me.
Love
and
that.
I think one of her, 2 of her things was Sunday dinner and going to church.
Okay.
I can't monitor everything you do because I'm a little older and you moving around so much.
Right.
And at that time, I was like real curious about what was going on outside, just different things, and soaking up all that stuff, just being an observant kid. So, for her, it was just basically, church and Sunday dinner.
Those 2 moments,
those 2 things,
consistently.
And that's everybody's rule. That's like my family would come in and out the house throughout the day.
Right.
And like I said, I'm that observant kid, so I'm like picking up on drug dealing cousins, that went to school for the first time. I'm taking all these examples and kind of building who I am as a person.
Right.
Yep.
We're going to get 16 songs on this project.
16 records.
Yeah, man. How was it
records.
Really? You said it's your most personal album. Like, 100%. How was the process?
The process was challenging at times.
Yeah.
Because it's like you got to have certain conversations.
Right.
With like certain people.
Some difficult.
Yeah, for
right?
sure. They might not be cool with certain things. So, you got to have those conversations. And that was some of the most challenging part, sitting and playing some of these records back with and these stories in this album with the people that they were about.
Wow, what was that experience like?
It's like, some people were tearing up, crying, and I felt like I was reliving that moment, like so much that I could like smell what it was like. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The way you described it on the album. So, just things like that. And for me, like I've been around for a little while, so it was like when I first came in, I feared being so vulnerable and letting people in. It was like, I just want to give them the bars. That's all it should be about. I'm a real private person. I'm a real reserved person. I don't really like letting people into my life. So, but I had to grow as a man, and I just feel like that's selfish to do. So it's like, let those experiences go. You never know who you could save.
I'm sure a lot of people are looking forward to, hearing the music, and I know your fans are going to really appreciate all the honesty on this project.
Yeah, very, very honest. Very like so much that I, cringe.
Yeah.
When I hear certain things.
I bet.
But yeah.
The 2 songs you've let fly so far off of the project, and you said there's gonna be one more before the release of the album.
Yeah.
Nice production on them both. Thank
you, man. Appreciate it.
Like a groovy, jazzy type vibe, right?
For sure. Yeah.
Is that kind of the vibe of the project?
Somewhat. It's a little bit of everything. It's a little bit of jazz influence. It's a little bit of soul influence, R&B, hip hop, of course. That's leading the forefront, but it's like my experiences that I got from like, my granddad put me on to Coltrane and Miles Davis and Sam Cooke and listening to all these things, and then my dad's generation being Luther Vandross, and I'm taking certain runs from that and just doing different things and trying to incorporate it into the stuff that my brother put me on, Snoop, Biggie, Pac, Hove, all of these guys, and my generation of artists, the Kendricks, the J. Cole, et cetera. And just putting all of that stuff and all those influences and, all that, inspiration into what I do.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Sunday Dinner, man, 9/22.
Sunday Dinner, 9/22.
What'd you learn about yourself during the creation of this process?
Man, that's a great question. I learned that I have to give myself more grace.
I heard that, man. That's been one of my favorite words this year.
Yeah, I got to give myself more grace, and because just being through having been through a lot of stuff in my life, it's like I'm always in a rush to get through it instead of living in it. Yeah, instead of living in it and being present. So, just grace. Just giving myself more grace and not being so hard on myself.
Difficult to do, but definitely something we have to practice.
For sure, 1,000,000%.
We have to practice.
That's a great question. I appreciate that.
No doubt. Thank you. Yeah. How about producers? Who we working with on the project?
Man, Tay Beast.
Yeah.
Tay Beast is like, legendary producer.
Yes, sir.
One of my favorite producers to ever work with. He did a lot of stuff for Kendrick, the TDE camp and everything.
Yeah, no doubt.
But more so like just people that I just met online, like that just had the shit. Like I never was a person where like, yo, I gotta get this producer. That ain't
never been you.
Yeah, I always was like, yo, whoever got the shit that inspired me, let's just do it. And it's 3 guys from Amsterdam.
Oh, sick.
Guy named Amara, 18, and Diplomat. They like a crew of producers that came in. They flew in and just.
They flew out here and really cooked up like that.
Yeah, they had the shit. We met at Max's studio. This is Max. He had his studio.
Yes, sir.
Met at his studio. We just camped out and just made records. Just made the shit.
Man, that's dope, man. Yeah. When you.
Superfly as well is on the album.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you've worked with him before, right?
No, this is my first time working with him.
First time. That's what's up.
Yeah.
16 tracks on the project. Like, who do you call? Who do you play the project for to really like narrow down that track list?
I got a best friend that's like brutally honest. So he's like one of the first people I call.
Too honest sometimes? Is it ever like, yo, bro?
No, I love it. That way. I love it that way. Because once I give it to the world, it's over with.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Once it's out there, it's done.
It's done. Yeah, that's that
so
part.
Like I appreciate. That's like the person that I go to when I want to. All right, it's done.
Yeah.
Here, tell me what you think.
Yeah.
But yeah. So he's like the person that
one
I
of those,
just go to.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. When it comes to a classic album, you know what I'm saying? What is a classic album to you, as a fan? Like what's something that, and I guess as an artist, what you strive to create. Like, what does a classic album mean to you?
Music that I live by. Something that can take me back to when I first heard it and give me new experiences while listening to it present day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just talking about this the other day. It's like a life after death. I still
go back to it and
still catch something new to this day.
For real.
Like, he was so ahead of his time. Hove, Reasonable Doubt, all Hove albums.
Yeah.
He's just dropping gems everywhere. Like,
no doubt.
Amazing. Just special. Just a special human. So,
of course.
Just those people, man. Just listening to those people and just catching something different.
Yeah.
That's what excites me as an artist, because that's how I do shit now. Like, I'm like, yo, it's probably, hopefully it's a kid listening to me somewhere, you know what I'm saying? And he like, yo, he's the best.
Right.
I don't care who you guys say is the best. Hopefully, the way I used to champion certain artists I love. So
for sure.
Yeah, I lead with that. I want you to discover something 20 years later.
Yeah.
So
I was going to ask you, to name 3 classic albums. You said Life After Death. You said Reasonable Doubt. Is there one more that comes to mind? Like a classic, just a press play.
Man, does it have to be hip hop?
Doesn't have to be hip hop.
We gonna keep it hip hop. We'll keep it hip hop. All right, so, man,
one more.
Doggystyle.
Shout to Snoop, man.
Yeah, Doggystyle.
Doggystyle.
That was like the first album to like make me drop all the toys and like, oh, I want to do this shit.
Yeah. Is that how it started for you? Like,
yeah, for sure. For sure. I took that album to like school, got in trouble.
I bet, yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Because of the artwork was graphic. But yeah, that was like the first album that I like running behind the couch and was like, oh shit, what's this? Yeah, it's like amazing.
No doubt.
Biggie as well. So yeah, all of those guys.
How do you feel the growth is like from this project to your last? You mentioned, your most personal album.
Mm-hmm.
Like what can fans expect? What would be the difference between the last one and this one?
One of the things that I learned about myself creatively is not running to my insecurity. And my insecurity, my superpower would be the punchline.
Ah, okay.
And it's like, yo, sometimes that shit can like fly over people's heads. You don't have to dumb it down, but just give them double meanings, like something for somebody like that's with an elite ear that can catch, but somebody also, that's somebody that don't want to think right now. And they just trying to just vibe out. They just trying to just have a good time. And they can still catch it, and it means the same thing, but
that's right.
So I learned that like there was a line that I saw. It was like the perfect example of this.
Okay.
It was like Jigga Man is Diesel when I lift the 8 up.
Yeah, that part.
I was like, yo, that's crazy.
It's like a triple on time.
Yeah, that's crazy. But the average ear can
Right. At least digest that he's talking about
sure.
Kobe and Shaq.
Exactly.
But then if you really dig deep.
For sure. It's a lot.
I got you. Yeah, I got you. Since Elementary, a track off the project.
For sure.
Talk to me about this song.
So this song is basically about an experience of mine. Just it's exaggerated for sure. It's not necessarily about pimping.
Yeah.
I know that's what the hook screams a lot, but it's more so about me being arrogant and me living in my younger days and, you know, feeling like I got all the girls until you finally meet the one girl.
Right.
And she breaks your heart and, you know,
right.
it's kind of a story of karma.
A story of karma. I like that. I like that. All right, we got Sunday Dinner. What's the other track I like? Catch the Fade?
Catch This Fade.
Catch This Fade. Catch This Fade. I mean, before I press play, I was like, man, rappers don't really want it with you like that when it comes to those bars.
Yeah,
talk to me about creating this song, man.
Man, this song was just like, me and my homegirl, Rakaya, super dope, soulful artist, like, super dope, super talented. Just in the studio, we're like huge fans of Missy Elliott and like her harmonies and the way she writes. Like, of course, she's an incredible rapper, but she's a genius writer and, you know, crazy with the hook. So I wanted like a melody like that, but the song is just basically about, you know, let's get back to the old days of scrapping.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I got a verse that talks about my first fight and my experience and how that went. So,
yeah, right.
Yeah, so yeah.
The most personal album, he says, man. This is one
my
that
most
really
personal one.
Means something. You know what I mean? I mean, all the music you release is always authentic. You know what I'm saying? But I just love how, you know, as a fan, we get to watch you grow.
Man, I appreciate it.
Each step,
you.
You know?
Appreciate it.
Each step. I mean, I remember Jay-Z paid you the compliment, said you were something special.
Yeah, for sure.
What did that...
Nobody else heard that. He just said it to me. Well, somebody else that was there. I just gave it to the world. But
where was it again?
This was at a brunch.
At the brunch, yeah.
And you would think he would not know who I was at the time,
but he's tapped in.
I feel like this man knows everything.
That had to feel good, man.
Yeah, that was crazy, bro. That was crazy. That was like a dope experience. And you know, we huge fans of Hov, and I remember like my manager at the time, he was like over there with him, and I'm like, yo, I don't want to meet him. I'm like, you know. And he made eye contact, and I was like, now I got to go over there.
It's time, yeah.
It's like, yo, what's going on? When I finally get over there, like, yo, what's going on? You're like, you know, you're special, man. Like, keep going. You know,
keep going.
So it's dope to hear him say that. Was like, all right, that's enough for me to like, no matter how hard this shit get, this guy that I used to like listen to in my room, my grandmother used to take me to the Walmart. I remember her buying me the clean version at the time.
Wow.
No curse words. I was pissed, but it was like, you know, at the time it was like, yo, that was the album that like
shaped a lot of
for sure. Just a lot of my life, man. Just learning.
Man, that had to feel good, man.
Kept me advanced. Yeah, that was.
Said keep going too. You know,
that was
I
a
put
great
the battery
moment.
in your back.
For sure.
Like I'm going right to the studio from here.
I think I did too. I think I went right there. Yep.
Well, you mentioned, you know, just some of the ups and downs. You know, this ain't easy. You've been doing this for a minute now.
Yeah.
You know, what can you tell, you know, the younger artists who are out there watching who, you know what I'm saying, like, shit just ain't happening quick enough, you know what I mean? Like, you put up a video on YouTube and, you know, it don't go to 2 million views right away, you know, or Instagram, something post and, you know, people could get, you know, down on themselves. You know, I think it's important that for the people watching that, you know, they really not only follow their dream, but stay consistent at it, right?
Absolutely.
Because you only going to really get out of it what you put in.
Right.
What can you say to the people watching who are like, man, I'm ready to get this shit up, man?
Man, the greatest people lost 1 million times before they got their ring. You know what I'm saying? I just think like, too, like, you know, the more you keep going, you show God how much you want it. And
man, I say that all the time. That's so true.
And he makes way for your dreams. Like, okay, this person is, you know, living by my laws, following my lead, and he believes in me.
Yeah.
But he also is sacrificing to get what he want out of this, so I'm gonna give it to him.
He
makes way for that. And also once you get to a point where you could change some shit in your life, get in the driver's seat. Get in the driver's seat, like, and if you make a bad decision in the driver's seat, you'll be able to live with that. But if you're following somebody else's lead and they're in the driver's seat, you're just going along for the ride, and it's your dream. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to live with that. So fail on your own will if that's in the plans. But get in the driver's seat and
drive that direction
Pedal
and
to
keep
the floor.
going.
Hell yeah, you
and
got
as
to.
long as you go one block forward,
nah, for sure,
you on the right direction.
That's enough. Yeah, just keep going, just keep pushing.
How about that word sacrifice? I know you sacrificed a lot of stuff for this career, for this journey, right?
For
People
sure.
might not know.
Yeah,
some birthdays might be missed. You ain't able to be next to some family members at time.
Absolutely.
Late nights in the studio.
Absolutely.
Speak on that a little bit.
Man, I feel like I sacrificed my whole 20s.
Yeah.
When a lot of people was out having fun and partying and doing a lot of different things.
Right.
I was in my brother's basement with a pen and a pad trying to figure it out.
Right.
And so sacrifice is like a thing for me.
Yeah.
And I'm still not where I want to be right now, but I'm on the right track to doing that.
That's
so,
right.
Yeah, I'm like back to the word present. Just be living in the moment and appreciating this, because the more I look back to the time when I was in the basement writing those rhymes and be like, man, that make me get up today. Like, shit, you don't want to go back there. You know what I'm saying? So keep pushing.
That's
keep pushing and going hard at this shit. So.
Man, Sunday Dinner, the album, man.
Yeah, best body of work for me. It's the most personal. I'm giving away a lot of my life in this album.
Yeah.
I'm giving away a lot of my life. Yeah.
Hey, it's gonna inspire, what I'm saying, a whole generation, man.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
That's big.
Nick, every time, man. Thank you for coming through.
For sure.
And damn, I've told you before, but thank you for being on Hunger Flow too with me as well,
for sure,
man.
Thank you for that.
That was a blast,
Thank you, brother. Yeah, that was so fun. That was so
meant
fun.
a lot to me. Thank you,
Yeah,
bro.
no, for sure. Thank you for that.
Always.
Bro.
Congrats on the new project.
Man, thank you.
Freestyle about to go crazy.
Oh yeah, this the one.
You know how we get down,
This
man.
the one. This might be our best one.
Woo! You heard it, man. Nick Grant is here. Just Incredible's Liftoff Show. Hey, thank you, man.
Man, thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Again, appreciate you. Bro.
Every time.
Yes,
Every time.
Every time.
Nick Grant, Just Incredible. This is Power 106, LA's #1 for hip hop. Peace and love.
Yep.